Hello and welcome. I'm Saffron from saffrondominises.com and this is the fourth in our series of videos about mental health. So this is in honour of World Mental Health Day, which was on Tuesday the 10th of October, and we have this week's and next week's, and that will be the end of our mental health series. So today's is a really lovely one. It's about EFT for mental health maintenance or everyday mental health. So this is for if you aren't in a particularly difficult place, you're not struggling with your mental health, you don't identify as having a mental illness. These are just things that we can all do to support ourselves in daily life and to create healthy habits for our mental health, a healthy lifestyle. So the first thing that I want to talk about before we get into any EFT is a self-nurturing routine. So my self-nurturing routine began a while ago now when my daughter was a baby, and I started having a few hours off a week to have a long bath, and that was it. That was my entire self-nurturing routine at that point. But at that point that brought up some big feelings. Since then my self-nurturing routine has grown and developed, and now there are daily things that I do like yoga and meditation, self-massage, you know, like hand cream and foot cream and stuff, and I still have my lovely bubble bath. But at that time, having that bubble bath, setting that time aside for myself, brought up big feelings, because often I think we just push ourselves and work and work and work, and we don't take any time out, we don't do the self-nurturing. And so the idea that we are worthy and deserving of that time for ourselves, just to really show ourselves how much we love ourselves, just to really be cosy and looked after and not stressed, not overworked, not doing all these things that we do every day. Having that time can bring up some really big feelings. So maybe we could start with some tapping on that. My feeling was just a feeling of loss almost, that I had spent my life not looking after myself. I hadn't given myself that love and that care that I really deserved, and it can't come from the outside, it has to come from you first. It can come from the outside after that, but it only once you can do it for yourself, which is why often we struggle so much in relationships, but I'm not going to get into any of that now. So let's do some tapping. So let's start here on the side of the hand. So even though I haven't really taken the time to look after myself, that's okay. And I love and accept myself just as I am. Even though I've never really put in the time for self-nurturing, and it's just never been a priority, that's okay. And I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even though I've just never been my highest priority, I love, accept and forgive myself now. And let's move to the eyebrow. I've never made the time for self-nurturing. It's just never felt important enough. I've just never felt important enough. It feels really selfish to bring these things into my routine. It feels really self-centered. I feel like I just need to push forwards. Like I shouldn't be my own priority. I have all of this resistance to self-nurturing. And yet part of me knows that I can't nurture anyone else until I've nurtured myself. I need to be at my full potential. And I achieve that through self-nurturing in any way that makes sense for me. What could I do to nurture myself this week? I wonder how it would feel to take some time just for me. I'd like to give some energy to this self-nurturing and make myself my own priority. Because through prioritising myself, I'm able to help and look after others. Without nurturing myself, I have nothing left to give to anyone. I choose to be my own priority now and find ways of showing myself that that's the case. I open up to self-nurturing now, and I recognise my own value. I recognise the importance of my well-being, and I recognise any feelings of loss that come with that. Feelings of loss for not having felt this way so far. Feelings of loss of all the time that I haven't been my priority. It's okay to feel these feelings. And I choose to become my own priority now. Letting go of the past and embracing self-nurturing. Deep breath. So if you've never looked at self-nurturing before, that can be quite big. It can bring up some quite big stuff, so you might want to seek out some support to see if a friend wants to go through this process with you so that you can share with each other what's going on. Reach out to me, always, that's fine, or anyone else that you have available. If you've done a bit of self-nurturing but let it slide, then it might not have had quite as huge an impact, but it might just be something to bring back in to the focus of your attention, and to think about what the self-nurturing things are for you. What feels the most nurturing? I've used that word about 1,000,000 times, but it is the word. That's what we want. We want to be nurtured. The thing that rises your energy up the most, the thing that rejuvenates you and just recharges your batteries the most. So for me, it's a bubble bath. It might be walking in nature, it might be playing music, it might be dancing, it might be anything. It might be time with friends, but if it is, I would also encourage you to have something that you can do on your own that's just for you, so that your energy isn't being pulled this way and that by other people. So yeah, you are the priority. You need to be your own priority. So this is the time to find ways of making that happen.